Speaker.
Almighty God, who in your wisdom and goodness has appointed the officers of leaders and parliament for the welfare of society and the just government of the people, we beseech you to behold with your abundant favor us, your servants, whom you have been pleased to call to the performance of important trust in this republic. Let your blessings descend upon us here assembled, and grant that we treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberations in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country and of those whose interest you have committed to our charge. Amen.
Administration of
Next order.
order number 2, administration from the chair.
Next order.
Order number 3, messages.
Next order.
Order number 4, petitions.
Next order.
Order number 5, papers.
Standing order of the County Assembly of Isiolo, standing orders, calendar of the 3rd County Assembly of Isiolo, first session, schedule. First session, first part starts on Tuesday afternoon. I beg to lay on the table that the County Assembly of Isiolo calendar for the first session of the 3rd County Assembly.
Next order.
Order number 6, announcements of motion. Motion on insecurity within the county.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I stand to put the notice of motion on security within the Isiolo County. That aware that Article 26 of the Constitution of Kenya declares that every person has right to life. Also, Article 40 of the Constitution of Kenya 2010 declares that every person has the right to property, either individually or in association with others. Further aware that Article 29 of the Constitution of Kenya declares right to freedom and security, noting that insecurity and intercommunity clashes in some parts of our county has led to loss of lives, properties, and made residents flee their homes. Further noting that temporary police posts that had been established at the hotspots to curb these menace had since relocated to town centers. Concerned that Isiolo County, particularly Isiolo South and Mete Sub-County, has experienced public demonstrations decrying of these attacks meted on residents by armed herdsmen from neighboring counties. Further concerned that those institutions responsible to deal with these persistent skirmishes are dragging its feet in ending insecurity in the area. Recognizing that enhancement of security and the protection of private and public property are among the guiding principles towards a developed county. This House urges the county government leadership, in liaison with the national government agencies, responsible for security function to establish urgent and appropriate measures in order to maintain peace in the affected regions of the county. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Next order.
Order number 7, statements.
Next order.
Order number 8, motions of bills. Motion on date and approve of the County Assembly of Isiolo first session calendar.
Pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 29 of County Assembly of Jillo, Standing Orders, this House debates and approves the calendar for the first session of the 3rd County Assembly of Isiolo. Standing Order 29 of the County Assembly of Isiolo, Standing Orders, calendar of the 3rd County Assembly of Isiolo, first session. First session, first part is Tuesday afternoon to Wednesday morning. Tuesday afternoons we have the sessions, Wednesday morning and afternoon sessions, and Thursday afternoons. Then we start our session from 4th October to today, 19th, tomorrow 19th October. Then we go on a recess. First session, second part is to start on Thursday, 7th October to 1st December 2022. We go for recess starting from 19th. We start on November 7th. Now the floor is open. First session Tuesday afternoon, Wednesday morning and afternoon, and Thursday afternoon. Tuesday 4th October 2022 to Wednesday 19th October 2022. First session second part starts on Tuesday afternoon, Wednesday morning and afternoon, and Thursday afternoon. Tuesday 7th November to 2022 to Thursday 1st December 2022. First session period is a short recess starting from Friday 20th October 2022 to Monday 6th November 2022, and long recess starting on Friday 2nd December to Monday 6th February 2023.
I now propose the question pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 29 of County Assembly of Isiolo Standing Orders. This House debates and approves the calendar for the first session of the 3rd County Assembly of Isiolo. There's many of the House is now open for debate. Honorable Gida.
Mr. Speaker, sir, thank you for the opportunity, but I need to be guided on how the calendar was being developed. Because I'm not going to what is happening, they need to know. They are asking.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I support the calendar of the House. Mr. Speaker, sir, the calendar of the House is being created by the House Business Committee using the normal session of the all Kenyan county assemblies. we are being guided by the standing orders. And Mr. Speaker, it is a norm of the assemblies, that is from national to counties, from the assembly, that we have a procedure to follow to make standing. Mr. Speaker, as per the discussion of yesterday of the House Business Committee, Mr. Speaker, we try to see how this is going to affect us, but as per the standing orders and also what the clerks have come up with, and it's a normal that this is exactly what we have been given. And we are following the calendar that we have created since the term assemblies. And I think, Mr. Speaker, it is the norm. You will see all the counties and even national assemblies going recess for us for this date. So, Mr. Speaker, I just request the members that this is how the calendar is being given. It is a procedure for all counties that this is how we do. And I believe that the clerks will guide us on the same, give us a standing order that give us exactly this kind of procedure. Yesterday, we said in the county House Business Committee, and we come with the same. I believe it is the procedure and it's the right directive as per the law. The short recess is always there, given 1 week. Long recess is from December. As you know, the Christian break for Christmas, and I believe that it will take long because it will start from the first week of February. And I believe even the National Assembly break for the same. So that is exactly what I think to members that it is not something that we sit down and plan, it is something that we have been guided to work on it. Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker, sir. In the House Business Committee, since this is the calendar nationally, we raised the concern about the budget, the supplementary budget, the security issues which are being experienced within the county, and also the drought condition. But the clarification is that if there is a need, anytime there is a special sitting which can be organized. So I think there is no worry in that. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, sir, even we don't understand what is going on. We don't have order paper.
Mheshimiwa Meja, we went ahead and spoke without the authority of the Speaker. I think you need to be guided on that. You can now go ahead. Mheshimiwa Meja.
Even Mr. Speaker, I don't have order paper. I don't know what is going on. Yeah, I don't understand.
That is well noted. I think the clerks should not repeat that mistake again. Honorable MCA for Garbatula, I wish to draw your attention to Standing Order 29, where it speaks about the calendar of the Assembly. I hope when you read through, you will understand where the committee to its powers do the calendar of the House. Thank you.
Hello.
Mheshimiwa Nura, you have something to say? I now put the question. Mheshimiwa Gira, one member is not allowed to speak on the same issue twice.
Just want to say something different.
The standing order is very clear. We are
Speaker, sir, I just want to structure my question and put it in a proper way. And this allows me to go ahead.
But you need to be guided that on one matter, next time you are not going to speak twice.
I was just seeking for the clarification on how they developed the house calendar. It's talking about the procedure and the deliberation they made. But that is not my worry. This is not an house of luxury, whereby you work for only a few number of days and then you go away. We have a lot of business to take care of. Our people are dying of starvation and insecurity. Drought menace is there. So I don't see the reason why we should adjourn a house. Thank you, sir.
Well, Honorable Villa, listening to the question that you raised, I want to draw your attention to Standing Order number 30, which talks about special sittings of the County Assembly. 31, whenever during a session the Assembly stands adjourned, whether or not a day has been appointed for the next sitting, the Speaker may, on the request of the Leader of Majority or the Leader of Minority Party, appoint a day for a special sitting of the Assembly. 2. A special sitting of the Assembly may also be convened if any group of members, not being less than one half of the total membership of the Assembly, address a letter to the Speaker with their names and signatures appended to the letter requesting that the Assembly be convened while it is on recess. 3. The Speaker may allow a request under paragraph 1 or 2 if the Speaker is satisfied that the business proposed to be transacted is urgent and exceptional business. The Speaker shall, by notice in the Gazette, notify the members of the place, date and time appointed for the special sitting of the Assembly. Whenever the Assembly meets for a special sitting under paragraph 1 or 2, the Speaker shall specify the business to be transacted on the day or days appointed on the business so specified shall be the only business before the Assembly during special sitting, following which the House shall stand adjourned until the day appointed in the Assembly. So when you read through this, you will realize that there is no restrictions on sittings. The calendar is tabled normally just to guide the House, but in case you are on recess and something urgent comes up, that particular standing order number 30 will guide the House. And just in case a member wishes to make amendments on this particular calendar, once it is tabled and approved by the House, there is a procedure to do the amendment and will be guided accordingly. I now put the question. Pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 29 of the County Assembly of Isiolo Standing Orders, this House debates and approves the calendar for the first session of the Third County Assembly of Isiolo. May as many of these opinions say aye. Aye. May have those of contrary opinion say nay. Nay. The ayes have it. Next order.
Motion on the effect of drought within the county. By Honorable
Honorable Atimano.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The mildest of the effects of the drought within the county. That aware that due to the failure of rains in the last two seasons, drought situation in the entire county is at an alarming state, requiring multiple interventions. Further aware that the continuous of dry spell within the county has caused acute shortage of pastures and water resulting to mass livestock deaths, threatening livelihood of residents. Appreciating that, efforts being taken by the county government on relief services so far for citizens of the county. Concerned that the impacts of the drought have direct effects on pastoralists and rural urban households, causing food insecurity, malnutrition, poor school attendance, increasing school dropouts as a result of families in search of water, food and pasture. Further concerned that if multiple interventions and multiple sectoral approaches are not deployed, the increasing drought effects are likely to cause diverse impacts on lives and livelihoods of both human and livestock within the county. This House urges the county executive to put the following measures in place to prevent further damages. 1. Provide continuous water tracking services to mobile pastoral households and livestock. 2. Provide adequate supplement relief food, medical services to human and feed to livestock. 3. Provide mobile school services. 4. Identify affected families, children in high schools and colleges, and be assisted with bursaries. And 5. Institute livestock offset program. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Do you have anything else to add on this?
Maybe just to add something. I'd like to congratulate the governor. Because
specifically on this.
It's on this, yes. Because the other day I saw him ride on a motorbike. I think visiting places where maybe communities have been affected more on drought. And that shows that I think he has that feeling that the drought situation is really worsening in this county. I think he announced that the county better stops all the other projects and maybe sticks on how to see that the families are at least assisted for this drought situation, which is in a severe situation. I think that will assist, because actually the situation is in a dire situation, and that will assist more, because he must have collected the data as he was traveling using a motorbike, and that was encouraging to us and to the families which are suffering the drought situation. That's all I wanted to add, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Who is the second motion?
And let's do second.
I now propose the motion. On the effects of drought within the county. That aware that due to the failure of rains in the last 2 seasons, drought situation in the entire county is at an alarming stage requiring multiple interventions. Further aware that the continuance of dry spell within the county has caused acute shortage of pastures and water, resulting to mass livestock deaths, threatening livelihood of residents. Appreciating that the efforts being taken by the county government on relief services so far for citizens of the county, concerned that the impacts of the drought have direct effects on pastoralists and rural urban households, causing food insecurity, malnutrition, poor school attendance, increasing school dropouts as a result of families in search of water, food, and pasture. Further concerned that if multi-interventions and multi-sector approaches are not deployed, the increasing drought effects are likely to pose adverse impacts on lives and livelihoods of both human and livestock within the county. This House urges the county executive to put the following measures in place to prevent further damages. 1. Provide continuous water taking services to mobile pastoralists, households, and livestock. Provide adequate supplement, relief food, medical services to human and feed to livestock. Provide mobile school services. Identify affected families, children in high schools and colleges, and be assisted with bursaries. Institute livestock offtake program. Now the floor is open for you. Honorable Major.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The drought continues to worsen in 20 of 23 Assam County. This is contributing to failure of crop season with the construction of October, November, edition is likely for fifth season underperformance. The number of people in Isiolo, humanity assessed in Isiolo County is projected to the 140 peoples. Isiolo is among the 10 counties under alarm drought phase. It means drafted to emergency phase. Wasal household for security institution has first a great malnutrition rate noticed across the county. With this all other situations, I wish to recommend the following adjustment measure.
Honorable member for Jillo. I wish to draw your attention to standing order number 81. If you have a copy, you can read together. Standing order number 81, which talks about speeches may not be read. No member shall read a speech, but a member may read short extract from written and printed papers in support of an argument, and may refresh memory by reference to notes. The speaker may allow a member to read a speech in particular cases where the speaker is satisfied that this is necessary for precision in statements of facts. This house is a house of debates, and we don't expect members to be reading scripts from written speeches. It makes the house lively when you put across your arguments without referring to documents. So I may allow you under standing order 81-2 in this particular case, but be guided next time. You need to have, avoid reading directly from written scripts. Thank you. You can go ahead.
With those all WhatsApp administration, I wish to recommend the following agency measure, lively and livelihood. 1. To provide assistance, food assistance, and scale up of a cash transfer targeting households which are currently food insecure as a private institution. 2. Provision of livestock feeding and supply. Support water tank intervention. Rehabilitation and maintenance of water infiltration. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member for Nari. Honorable Member for Galbatla.
Mr. Speaker, sir, before I continue, allow me to be an ignorant for today. About the standing order you just read, we humans are not programmed like a computer. Sometimes we need to have a reference material to refer to improve on our maybe an argument. So we need your guidance.
It says that you can refer to notes. Just just for references, not reading, like you are reading a bulletin. Right? So, be guided on that.
Thank you. I would like to associate myself with the paper laid by my good friend, Mr. Letimalo. It is a well thought idea. An issue of drought situation today or now has an effect on both human and livestock. I yesterday had an opportunity to attend or to go and visit a site in Malkadaka, where a World Bank funded project is going on at a tune of 42 million. This project has a sustainability for human and livestock. Partly, if I may share with the House, the program which is continuing in Malkadaka, as you know, a program of hay farming, both for animal fattening and for sales, just for an economical gain. That is just by the way, but what the raft of measures proposed my friend lacks only 2 items, which I would request him maybe or the speaker to add on to it. The 2 items I wish this house to recognize is a human nutrition for the situation of malnutrition situation in the area, and livestock extension services be included in the items maybe. Thank you.
Honorable member, when you talk of malnutrition, does it also include the issue of providing adequate supplementary food?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, sir. Because our communities are pastoralists, they live with their animal and the family. All the children are not in school. They stay with their families in the grazing zones. So maybe
I think it is already covered under item number 2.
And the extension services.
Yes.
The vet extension services maybe for the lab and
That is one method. Honorable member for Ngarama.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity. I wish to thank the member, Honorable Dima, for bringing this motion today. Mr. Speaker, I think Friday I was together with my friends here, Jillo, and I also met a teacher, together with my brother here, Ali, and we went up to Sarofa. And what we saw there was a bit pathetic to us, most of the pastoralists, because we found not even the livestock that we are talking about, but also the wildlife they were dying. So, Mr. Speaker, I think one of the motion has to be taken care of by the county assembly on a serious note, because all of us here are pastoralists, and we know the magnitude that our people have been affected by this drought. And also, Mr. Speaker, we need also to re-energize our system, early warning system, and also the rate of preparedness as a county, because we cannot just deal with the emergencies now and then. So I think going forward, the county should have this early warning system, so that we prepare our people in advance whenever we are warned by the Department of Meteorology that we should not maybe receive reliable info, for us to balance even our livestock on the same, or also for the county to procure the animal feed on that sense, and also the food for our people. So, Mr. Speaker, I think we need most to trust the executive, because the assembly does not have the funds to do the same, we can as well legislate. But it is the work of the executive to implement. So, Mr. Speaker, we need to be serious on the same because our people are dying. And even the livestock, the wildlife, and also the rate of dropout if you go to different schools. I think I quoted my friend here, Waidaka, the other day, talking about fainting of pupils in different schools. And that one was captured also in one of my villages, that is in Daba, Nakura location, where we distributed some food together with the CEO for Safaricom last week. There was some cases where the women were fainting, and they were never taken to hospital. It is now diagnosed that they have stayed more than 5 days without food. So, Mr. Speaker, I think it is alarming. The state that we are now as the pastoral or even a country, it is alarming. So we need to be closer to our people in terms of providing the food or whatever we have for them to survive. So, Mr. Speaker, I think we should make some measures for us to make sure that the food has been procured, more especially because we are almost doing our supplementary budget. I wish members could capture that one in terms of allocating enough money for that kit, which now provides the food for our people. So it means that we can forego many projects to make sure that our people lives, because you cannot just do development for people maybe who are dead. So it means that when the supplementary comes, let's all look all the kits which are not necessary for us, so that we allocate a lot of money or adequate money for our people to get food, for our people to get water. Also, Mr. Speaker, I understand that there is a wildlife conflict which is going around, and it is happened by the elephants mostly. They destroy a lot of birds around. If you go across all the world, they destroy, more especially the one borders the parks. We don't have existing birds around. They are all covered by elephants. So, Mr. Speaker, I think even going forward, we need to initiate the process of having maybe optional water point for the elephants when maybe this kind of a famine hits the county, so that the elephants cannot just come from the wildlife area to where people live and try to destroy all this. So, Mr. Speaker, I think this motion comes at the right time when our people are in need, where they need the assembly to legislate and to give direction, clear direction to the executive that they should take care of our people. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, sir, for having cited Son of Wangoi. As we are all aware, we are, as a county, we are going through a very difficult period. Each and every place in this county, people are crying, they don't have food. Not even here in town. So what I feel should be done, even the food that we got the other day, it was not enough. But I feel school feeding program should be started again, and with immediate effect, to make sure, because there are some houses, children don't have anything to eat. So when they eat in school, at least they feel better. You know why I'm saying this? I was chairman of Keniki Agegeti primary school here, which was also affected by drought some years back. And when some children used to come to school because it's the only place they could eat. And I believe the same thing is also happening here, Mr. Speaker, sir. There are so many children, possibly in Eresaboru, Galbatura, and wherever. The situation is the same here in town, especially where I come from, Budapest. Sometimes people think that people who live in town have money. The poor of the poor lives here in town. So when we are discussing let us also remember our people who are also in town. Yesterday, I was looking at the TV, and a place which is so dry, even more drier than Isiolo. People have dug dams. How blessed are we people of Isiolo? I think it is high time, all authorities, we put our energy together and we make sure that we make use of Wasonyiro River. We can build dams and make sure that our people do proper farming. Because if it has been done elsewhere, why not here? I think we are the blessed people. A river that can carry a lot of water. You saw what happened the other day in Kirinyaga. The soil of Kirinyaga, where they grow rice, the same soil that is here in Isiolo. So we should, I don't think there is any dignity in begging for food. Our people begging for food after all these years. Sometimes I feel, I get emotional, because I know we can do more. If we can pull our brains, our resources, whatever we have, and make Isiolo a place that will be supplying food even to other counties. I know Isiolo, if you utilize the land well, will be very rich. We'll be exporting food, not only here in Kenya, but in other countries. It has been done in Sudan. Why not Gazera irrigation scheme? Why not here? We make use of that good river that God has given us. We are lucky to have got lands and acres of land. If you can put use of it, our people will benefit seriously. And that is the way that we should look at it that way. How do we make our people rich? And we can make it. If we people here, you see here, the decisions that we come with, we make sure we register properly, they are followed. Because don't expect people to come and develop Isiolo County. It is us who will develop this county by the proper measures and policies that we put in place. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for giving me this opportunity. I think I want to send my thank you to Mr. Letimalo for bringing this motion today, because this motion is really, I think it's really in every person's heart. It's a motion which is like affecting everyone virtually. And let me just maybe answer what Mheshimiwa for Dima has just said about the bulletins of early warning systems. So the bulletins are there. And maybe I'll ask the House maybe to be alive to what is happening across us. We have some ministries actually who virtually do this work. It's our opportunity, I mean, to go, not everybody's.
Honorable Raima,
Yes.
just for guidance, when you are speaking, you address the chair,
Okay,
not
thank you.
directly.
Mr. Edwin Moses, thank you. So I just want to say, maybe as a word of advice to my fellow members, we have so many offices around here, Mr. Speaker, sir, which can assist us maybe gain some information on what is really happening around us. Like where the officer was just from the other time, before I joined the assembly, with the National Drought Management Authority, actually gives us the early warning systems in time, so that we don't respond very late, too much, very late, or too little, very early. So this information is just with us. So if the county governor, the CSG meeting is normally chaired by the county governor and co-chaired by the county commissioner, and the NDMA, the secretary. So it's part of us. The executives are there to really get this information early, real time, so that whatever information we really need to harness and work on is really within our limits. I mean, within where we can get. So I think the right time now we go around, understand what is around us, so that we get the right information at the right time, so that this, whatever is happening, can be, with time, it can be, the problems can be shortened. And the second thing I want to maybe share in the house is about the climate change or the climate variations effect. This thing is real. So is the earlier, this thing is something which is a process. We cannot just say as a house today, we sit down, discuss about climate variations and maybe finish. Because you see even the mountain regions, they are really suffering about this climate change and climate variation is there. So as the county government, as the county assembly, it's better we discuss this, the legislations which is going to assist our county government or the county executive to work on it, because this thing is something we are supposed to be alive to, discuss every time, so that we see the steps which we can take so that these problems can be cushioned. Because it is there, the rainfalls are not coming in good time, our animals will be dying, our livelihood is dependent on these animals, so it's the right time now we discuss about climate variations so that with several motions, not one motion, so that we can get solutions to these problems of climate change. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Bole, you are the second of this motion. I want to draw your attention to standing order number 94, reserving rights of speech. Upon a motion other than a motion by way of amendment to a question proposed by the Speaker, a member may second by rising in his or her place and signify acquiescence by bowing the head without speaking. And such member shall thereby reserve the same rights of speech as the member would have had if some other member had seconded such motion. So next time when you second the motion, you can just reserve your right to speak to that motion, and then also, let's say you are seconded, you lose that right. So just be guided on that. Honorable Camilla.
As much as motion of the drought is concerned, it has come to our conscience that most people who are affected by drought are lactating mothers, pregnant mothers, children under 5 years, and we have gone through the article or the motion that has come to us by provision food supplement to animals, to people's water tracking. It is a short-term, according to me, it is a short-term intervention. How else best can we put our people to assist themselves, or how do we intervene? The long-term intervention for this. For example, in Jari and Cherab, there is this dam constructed. We have talked of the rehabilitation. Can we put our people, impart them with the skill of growing crops? Or there is also what is we call as a kitchen garden. Kitchen garden is reusing of water. How people reuse water that they have used and reuse them again by just putting up the sack, growing of the vegetables and using them as a food. It is one way and it is long term because the waters are always there and they can help themselves. But our people, they are lacking skill. The development partners, we have a lot of funds into our county, but they are not helping our people. Let them come up, impart our people with knowledge, use that money properly. Food supplement, we are talking always now and then. They are not intervening it. We appreciate them. In fact, we have appreciated them, the government and the developmental partners. But that help, it is not enough. Let them come up well, assist our people, impart them with knowledge. That help them. Hi. Thank you very much.
it's a learning process. Yes. So I want to draw Mheshimiwa Kamila to standing order number 78, rules of debate. Proceedings to be in Kiswahili, English, or Kenyan Sign Language. 78.1 says all proceedings of the Assembly shall be conducted in Kiswahili, English, or in Kenyan Sign Language. Number 2, a member who begins a speech in any of the languages provided for under paragraph 1 shall continue in the same language until the conclusion of the member's speech. Towards the end, you started with English, but towards the end, you used Kiswahili. So that is not allowed. Next time, just be ready. Mheshimiwa Jillo.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I support the motion moved by Honorable Francisco. As much as we say the county government also did some intervention, which actually is highly appreciated, but there are a lot of gaps. If you look at where I come, my ward, there are areas which are interfacing with Meru County. Kachuru is one of the places that I can give as an example, where there are 75 houses belonging to Isiolo County, but they live in a disputed boundary, rather. So they have not been counted on the side of Isiolo, and also Meru County neglected it. I came across Red Cross giving some food to the people who are actually not from Borana community. And when I got the complaint and I asked, they said actually they have been neglected, even in provision of water. So there is, I think, weakness in the area of Sabe that maybe that should be an omission which has been done from the planning stage. I agree with the Honorable Rehema that there are some early warning system or informations available, but it depends on how it is being executed. Like some agencies are just reluctant, I think, in doing their roles, particularly in the social corporate responsibility. I give KWS, the Kenya Wildlife Service, as an example. From the during the long dry season, I think KWS has been getting money in form of fines and bribes from the pastoral communities who are encroaching onto the game reserve. This game reserve has been allocated by the community themselves out of goodwill. What KWS is supposed to do is actually to be able to give support in growing of the fodder, so that the big pressure from the pastoralists onto the game reserve can be offloaded by giving out at this stage a lot of grass to the livestock outside the park. Those are the mitigative measures that some agencies are supposed to do as part of the corporate social responsibility. So, as much as the house is adjourned for a reason or two, but I will ask after, even during the adjournment, maybe a committee can be able to be sent around the county and be able to evaluate how much we have done and affirm the situation, which actually is not good, because I came across some students, you know, even shouting out to me as their member of county assembly as a whole, asking me, Mheshimiwa, tuko na njaa. You know, children, I mean, approaching you and telling you that, and you could see that they're actually growing weak. So what do you expect of them? I mean, performing in terms of learning. So during the recess, I think it is good this house can come up with a, you know, we are all leaders. We can go around and be able to see and evaluate what are the real situation on the ground. Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. You cannot speak to one motion twice. Mheshimiwa Martina.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, thank you contribute the motion. It's a timely motion, Mr. Speaker, and the effect of the drought is really frustrating for people. Mr. Speaker, the effect of this drought is becoming environment. In a place I come like Abdinur, Mr. Speaker, the dropout of school is very high. When we discuss with it, especially the ECD school teachers, we have almost 80% of dropout of schools. That means that almost all the kids that go to ECD schools are not attending the school. Reason is that their parents have already moved with the few livestock that are remaining far distance. So the kids are not in a position to access those schools. So, Mr. Speaker, we need to see what we can do as a county. Mr. Speaker, if you talk of a primary school, we have like 65% of draft of the school due to the same reason, Mr. Speaker. If you go to secondary school, we have like 45% dropout. Reason, there is no school fees. I think the backbone of this county is livestock. And the livestock used to be like, all what is the family required to all activities in the food, school fees, and medical. So, Mr. Speaker, if these animals are perishing, all these commodities, the family will lack that commodity. And I think we believe that they just wait a death for them. And Mr. Speaker, I believe if the governor can come up and try to announce that it is an emergency in this county, I think that is the only time that we can sit down as leaders and plan good in these people so that we can see how we can save their lives. Mr. Speaker, if you get a family, he also said that family failed because of hunger. It is not in one place, it's all over. It is the whole country. Even those in the town, they depend on the livestock that are there because they come and sell to them and they buy and sell them and make a fresh meat. If there's no livestock, what will they buy? So I believe that this is the whole county problem. And I think as leaders, we need to see how we can address this and try to ensure that we assist our people in doing this with us like that. The same thing, due to the drought, that's why we have insecurity. People are killing one another because they believe that we have something in their hand so that they can survive. So, Mr. Speaker, we need to see what we can do as leaders to ensure that we try to assist where possible. We are giving relief, but it could not be in a place to sustain our people. It is a time. We are missing like maybe 100 million per day. Because if we give a family 6 kilos of sugar, 5 kilos of rice, you believe that that's a 1 week meal. That's wrong. Mr. Speaker, that's a 2-day meal. Because you can get a family with 10 kids. You see the situation of the customers. We don't do what we call family planning. Mr. Speaker, for us to use maybe crops to substitute the livestock, it will take time. As my friend Camilla said, we have no knowledge to work on that. And I believe that it's our time to ensure that we try to make people understand the importance of using crops to substitute the livestock. We can try, this time now we need to get a hand-in-hand solution. It will not be a long-term solution or a short-term solution, but hand-in-hand solution. And the only that is that to ensure that our people we provide our people with what we have in terms of food. And I believe that, Mr. Speaker, with your leadership, you will try to convene a meeting of the elected leaders and the government so that we forge a way forward without trying to become a system. Because this is a dynamic that it is unbearable. It's not affecting one side or this, it is affecting the whole country. So, Mr. Speaker, even if we think of doing supplementary work, it is us to do a supplementary of what we know to do, instead of just assuming we can do this. We have a lot to do, because if we have those kind of 30 million, or even 3 to 4 or 10 million per year for bursary, we cannot be the same as we used to do, because we used to say that we give the poor, but now everybody is poor because we are not able to get the livestock we are using. the employment of the county is very low. I think the percentage of employment and unemployment it have a very good with a big variance. They are given by the literacy of the situation and also of our county, and also the ignorance of our people. We get many kids not going to school, and that is time to be. Those people never be employed. So, Mr. Speaker, I think we believe in how we can try to assist our people, and that's why we are this assembly, Mr. Speaker. We are brought here to see how we can assist our people, and I believe that it's a high time for us to learn the change of climate and make sure our people understand the change of climate. They don't know even what's the meaning of this drought. If you tell them change of climate, they tell you what. Some, I'm sorry to say, there's a joke that they say, do you think God have migrated? Because they believe it's only God rains. So, Mr. Speaker, we need to sit down and try to see as leadership, how will we come up with a mechanism of assisting our people. If you go to this hospital, I went there once, you get many people who have been close to be there because they have not paid for hospital bills. Reason they have no livestock to sell. So, Mr. Speaker, we believe that we need to stand up as leaders and try to see how we can wake up and try to see how we can address some amicable issues which may be resolved by ourselves. And others we also have to cry for the county government, the national government. This is mandatory that when we are trying to give out 2 lorries or even 955 tons of unga, the national government is giving 60 sacks of rice for 50 kg to a full ward of 1 meter. That's the belief that they have given food for the people. So, Mr. Speaker, I think we need also to sit down with the national government instead of just planting out food and just food will never be enough, even in a small village. I believe that they also have to come up and see how we can chip in terms of assisting county. They can give fund to county so that the county will just prepare food for the people, because we understand the nature and the population of our county. And I believe, Mr. Speaker, that is the only way we can work on this. We have tons and tons of fertilizer in Isiolo, if you go there. Our people never use that one. So, Mr. Speaker, thank you, because I will not say more. Say thank you.
Thank you. Mheshimiwa Fuzi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for giving me this opportunity to make my first speech. I rise to support the motion that was brought by my colleague Dima. I bring the intervention areas to see at the intervention areas like promotion of water and water harvesting and storages, and prepare the water transport channels needs to be prepared.
Members, honorable members, I think we have deliberated on this matter enough. I think I guided you on this.
Yes, I'm just begging. I have a burning issue that I wanted I'm going to contribute. If maybe because of our ignorance and we are still kidding, you can excuse me.
Okay. This is just an exception.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I also stand to support the motion. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for giving me this opportunity and also abandoning some of the facts in the standing water. I stand up, rise to support the motion. Mine is the matter which is being discussed is really critical. The matter of the current drought, which is an impending disaster, the expected rain fails completely, it's going to be a disaster in our county. And as you know, 70% of the population of Isiolo County are the communities who are entirely pastoralists, and their livelihood being dependent on those livestock in terms of education, food, and everything, every aspect of their livelihood being dependent on livestock. And right now, the situation of the livestock is that there are several dying, and that from that we are expecting more cases of human involvement coming by. With that in mind, we know that apart from county government of Isiolo, there are many other stakeholders in community development, and also the national government who are part of this, who are providing services to our community. Yes, we know the resources that we have at our country won't be just enough to sustain, even if we maybe announce the situation being disastrous. In our country, we have several non-governmental organizations that are out there, several of them whom we may not have record of them and their activities on the ground. Some of them right now they are undertaking some of these response programs which are not coordinated with our county government departmental activities, and some are doing some are just maybe briefcase organizations. My move is a request by the county government. I know we have done several meetings for the CSOs and the non-governmental organizations, but still there is no clear situation in bringing the non-governmental organization and the CSOs and all the partners and the stakeholders who are performing service delivery to our community. The situation in the counties, especially those areas that are entirely depending on the livestock for their livelihood. Currently, all the kids are out of school, and most percentage because of the school fee balances, and this calls for the emergency bursaries allocation in supplementary budget, and also our funds in supplementary bid channel to cater for the disaster response. Equally, from the CSGs, the county steering group, steering committee group, who are somehow coordinating these issues of the disaster management, since we are almost facing the disaster situation. If the expected rain in this October completely fail, it's not wise to wait until we see that the situation wasn't in us watching the situation wasn't day by day. So, like in my area, you know, there are couples of the problems apart